Right, back down on the beach. Gonna give it a go. It's flat calm. I've got no choice. It's freezing. It's 2 degrees above freezing. The sun might pop over the top of this hilltop behind me, cliff top behind me. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a go. I've got mackerel and squid, and that's about it. And a little bit of herring. And I'm going to show you how I've rigged up here. I've got 2 pulley panels, and then I've made another rig up. It's totally different. So griplet at the bottom, just a regular pulley panel. But what I did notice, I've just bound this one on. Okay, last time I was here, I missed some rays. I definitely missed some ray bites because I caught a couple, and then I realised that the ones I was leaving were rays scooting away like this, giving me that type of bite. So I think I might be able to recognise that bite now. What I did notice is when you clip the bait down, right, you put your bait into the bait clip like this. I'll show you. It'll go in. So it goes in the bait clip like this. And the idea is to have it streamlined so it goes behind the lead, zoom up in the air like that. But the trouble is, when you give it a really good hard cast, that's going this way, isn't it? It's pushing the meat off the point of the hook. And over the years, I've had several fish like this. I've had hooked up, I've missed the top hook, but they're probably just biting on the shank of the hook and missing the point. So I'm going to try lobbing out without clipping it down, because if you look at it this way, the leg goes first, right? And it pulls the bait behind it in the air. Yes, you won't get so much distance, but I feel it might pull the meat down the bait onto the point of the hook or towards the point of the hook. Of course, I've got it elasticated on. I've got thread on there to hold it. It's just a little theory of mine that it might mean that's why I've been missing a few decent fish, is they're not getting the point of the hook, the bait sliding up over towards the eye, and basically I'm missing a fish. Let's heave them out. I've been waiting half an hour for the tide to come up. Very, very short window. I've driven 2 3/4 hours. I'll wait for this. 4 hours fishing. That's some gamble. Right, can only put it in the water, can't I? Sort of similar principle, but I've made, if you can see that, just 2 long links with a bit of really, really freezer burn mackerel, grip lead. It's my spinning rod just to throw out for whatever. There might be whiting or something else around. It is catch anything day. It's going to be hypothermic, so I don't think that sun's coming up here. Let's get it out. Well, while it might look like I'm sitting here waiting for the number 49 bus to come, I'm actually waiting for a bite. But even since I fished this last time, this beach has changed, and I find that weird because we've had no big storms. It's been very settled weather, which actually works against me. When you're beach fishing, you want a good bit of a blow to stir up, and generally after the blow is when you want to be there, when the food's all been stirred up. But there's undulations and curves where there's been big deposits of large stones put there. So where I am, I've automatically gone on top of the stones because I'm higher up, and I haven't got to move the rods back so quickly. But the thing is, if I do hook a fish, I'm bringing it in, there's a steep angle to come up and over from here, and I just feel the line's going to snag on that first, and I'm virtually winding the fish into the snag or the boulders. So I've got to remember, if I do hook something, to go either side where it curves down slightly. There's slightly less boulders, and I feel I could bring a fish up through that gap. Not so much on the right hand side, more on the left hand side. I'll show you what I mean. It's just something I sort of sit and noticed and thought I might get one bite from a decent fish and then lose it here. So here, where I've got my rods, my tripod, beach rest, look, it drops off there. I'll show you, might as well show you, it's just because it's definitely changed. See, look how steep that is there, and if I'm bringing a fish in here, I feel that my line's going to go up and down if the fish is digging. Whereas here, let's go across a bit, and the same, there are ridges all the way up. There's a sand patch there, the sand's further up. It's just a lower gradient there, and you might be able to see it over the back. There's another one over that side, so I feel if I do get a fish, I probably need to bring it in this area down here. I'm always trying to think in advance. Quite a bit of weed around as well. Yeah, there's quite a bit of weed been stirred up as well. So I'm hoping it's not going to be a problem when the tide comes up and then turns. Not one single angler here. I have a mile of beach to myself. I've been talking to Tom, who runs a Lawn Dune charter boat, how to watch it. It's just literally up there. I can see the pier from here. I might actually fish the pier tomorrow if I don't do any good here. He said he hadn't seen much on the forums, so fishing's been okay, and the boat is obviously better. But in his boat you will generally catch fish, but he even said that sort of slowed up a little bit, so it's just winter fishing, it's up and down. So I could be on a blank, could be on a loser. Well, you know the saying, you've got to be in it to win it. Nice! You can actually see the curves of the water there that I was talking about. In fact, I was nearly in the water then. Best to move back. Well, no bites, so I'm off beach combing. I had to walk along. I wanted to come, to be honest, it's about a month ago that I came and did okay. But high tide coincided with dark, so I've come back a month later, but now the nights are different, plus I've come further west. Can't work it out, this fishing game. Anyway, look at this cliff bit here, just before it falls down on me. How cool is that? Totally eroded. I would imagine not a million miles away from collapsing. It goes, I'm not going to go too close because these cliffs do collapse. It goes way up inside there. I wonder how far it goes back. Sort of like a slippery, slimy cave there. And all these millions of tons on top of it. In fact, I can see a crack over there in the wall. I'll go in on that, you might be able to see that. Best to move away, Graham. Pretty waterfall up here, though. big waterfall you can see. And more cracks in that clump there. And along there it's wet in the bottom half of all of that. Now over in Ireland where they do surf sand beaches, not these sort of boulder strewn ones, you'd be looking for something like that. You'd be looking for a stream running into the beach, and that was always a classic spot for bass. And we don't know really, even today, from this I'm talking 60 years ago, was the hot spots, generally by streams. But nobody seems to really know why. We think it's the sand hills that come, like coming up into the, you know, where the fresh water's running into the sea. I'm not a million miles from another one of those, not as big as that waterfall down there, but I'm down this way, not a million miles away from the stream going in. I don't think I've ever caught a bass off this beach, to be honest. They do get them occasionally, more on summer and autumn on worm-based baits, and on my bait is not great. I'm going to have to wheel it in. What I do is I'll take the bad bait off, I put some more bad bait on, and throw that on out there and just hope. It's a chuck and chance it, as we call it. Let's get down there and change over. I think I've got about an hour to high water. Small tides, you can tell by the moon up there. It's just coming off of the small tides. So there's not a lot of movement in the water. A couple of boats out there fishing, I don't blame them. What are you doing better than I am in here? But they did say it's not great shore fishing at the moment. Hopefully I can prove them wrong. I haven't got much dark, I've got about an hour of dusk, and that's when I'm hoping I can pick a fish off. And since last time, all these huge sleeper things have appeared. Has anybody recognised that type of concreting? How old is it? It's like concrete and stones together. It's like a sort of hardcore, massive sleeper there. You come back over this way. I've never seen them like this. Is it something that's broken up on the shore and been washed in here? Yeah, you can see like the size of my hand up against these sleepers. So that sleeper went in there. There's another one. There's a big slab there. I think they've been eroded. Look at the size of those. They've been there, God, 100 years, I should think. Another thing I want to know is, why is all this sand black? I have never seen so much black sand here. Look. That's some weird stuff, and that. It looks like there's oil in it, but it's obviously not. There's a piece of metal. Well, I'm not even going to get that up, Graham. Don't be stupid. It's probably attached to South Devon. But why is all this black sand here? Look at it. I've never seen it here before. Who brought it? Another thing, while we're on a geology lesson, look at these lines down there. Now somebody's going to Google up and tell me what that strata definition is there, and what is the base of that red rock there, and what's the name of the light colour. I'm going to put this up here. There, I'm going to put this up here for the bloke who owns it. You know why? He obviously got tired. Oh dear, dear. You can probably see from where I set up, if the tide's high in about an hour, it's not even going to reach where my base camp is. So I don't know why all the shingle is wet, like it looks like the tide's come up here. It's just like cold from the freezing damp, and it's about 2 degrees above at the moment. So I think even though I've got an hour, I don't even think it's coming in here. I think I'm pretty safe where I am there. I'll tell you what else we were talking about. We're out in the boat. some time ago, and we were talking about what are called the mid-range tides. That's the sort of halfway between neap and springs when they just start to make, or indeed fall off and get lower. And the problem being that the air pressure can actually affect the height of the water. Wave go through. There's a big wave coming. So we got high pressure for a long time, and it's pushing down on the water. Big wave. Just as I move my gear down, and I think it's stopping the water come up where I think it should be, because it's like saying the water's at 6 feet, next day 7 feet, next day 8 feet, next day 9 feet, and then the next day should be 10 feet, but actually goes back to 9 feet or 8 feet. And that's because the pressure, the air pressure, must be pushing down it. We discussed this, and how the tidal range is actually affected by the air pressure, low or high. And I don't see this coming up much farther than it's coming now. I've got 30 minutes left till it's high. Well, look behind me. There's, to me, the high water's up there. So I don't understand it. Looking down here, there's the weed over on the left, which I guess is the last high tide, and yet, well, I'm nowhere near it. It's peculiar. I have had a couple of bites up on the shotgun rod close in, little rattly, small bites. The bait's too big, but you know, I'm trying to get a decent fish rather than just pin whiting or something like that, or small pouty. I might change the rig and at least try and salvage something, but I'm waiting to see what happens with this high water. Last time I fished here, the fish just switched on as it turned, about half an hour into the turning when it was ebbing, so I don't know. Just getting a bite on the right hand rod there. So because it's a big bait, I've actually pulled like a couple of feet of line. There it is. I've pulled a couple of feet of line off. So although I've got 2 hooks, it is a big bait. I think we might have a customer. I can take a gamble. If I lose it, I lose it. I'm going to leave it because I think he's dropped it. See if he comes back. I haven't moved it, just tightened up, couldn't feel anything. A really good bang. And then nothing, so I figured he's pulled the bait and spat it out and maybe lost. He might come back. Come on boys, let's give us one fish. I don't think the sun's going to come up over that cliff top there, so going to be in shade all the time. Yeah, pretty sure he's dropped it. Could have just been a dogfish. You never know. Well, folks, I'm not getting it. I've had 2 major, really big buckle over pull downs. Grab it, one I struck straight into, nothing, didn't do a thing. And the other one just dropped it. Even the small baits, the strips of squid on the small hook, just get bang, 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 gone. It's weird, it's like they're not really feeding. You know, to stay on the bait and pull it, it's most bizarre, and I have to say, totally frustrating. Got about an hour and a quarter left. So far I've driven 2 3/4 hours for a 4-hour fishing window, and I've landed 1 pouting. Well, as luck would have it, when I put the reel down, at long last, just a strap conger. By golly, was he hard earned. I let him bite for ages and he's still just barely hooked, just in the top there, can you see? Barely hooked. So, he's made a mess of my rig. I think I'm going to send that out. That was just almost straight squid, that one. So, get him unhooked, get him back. At least I've got fish. Back out again, but what I find strange is I get one pouting, lose another fish on the way, which I assume is another pouting, nothing, small hooks, done. I've had some real whacking pull down bites, I don't understand it. Look, the left hand one up there. Some real pull down, they just leave it, I don't understand it. That one I gave forever, and you saw he's just hanging by one hook, so they're definitely not feeding greedily, at least, you know, I'm pleased they're feeding at all. Well, that one saved the day, saved the afternoon. Hell of a drive for one strap conger though, but listen, at my end, throwing worms out for stuff like that pouting, that conger's a major result. That's why I come down to Somerset. Come on, just one more I've got. Probably only got 45 minutes left. And it's gone. Finito. Here we go. It's weird, I get those bites, really good bites. I pull off slack so they can't feel the rod top. They're straight now, that rod, that left hand rod. They still eat it, I don't get that. My baits probably are a tad on the big side, but there's stuff like cod in the winter down here, so it's still there. Now, is that a small conger tugging at it? Is it a nice thornback ray? Or is it just a dogfish? That's what the bites are like. But at least I've got a little bit of dust. Funny old game is fishing, especially beach fishing in the UK. Oh, what fun. Also, what I find strange is, because I normally come down at different times of the year, or in the summer, the sun goes down there, and I've got some really nice shots of sunsets down there, you know. And now the sun's set over the cliff, because obviously in the winter, middle of winter this is, it sets way further south. It doesn't set in the west, it's way south, so it's a funny light, look at it, it's a weird light. Today's been blue sky, but this camera's had sort of struggle with it. Right, I'm not going to say it's not pretty light. It'd be pretty if one of those rods folded over. Well, it looks like it's all over by the shouting. Getting really cold now. I'd say my fingers are telling me it's about freezing. I don't think it's gone up more than 2 degrees above all day. And it's got a bomb out tonight now. There's not a cloud in sight. Big fog bank over there on the Welsh side. They're coming up the Bristol Channel. That's going to help hold that cold in. So where do I go tomorrow? What do I do? I'm in a B&B up at Bridgewater. Don't know whether to just go home in the morning, do some jobs in the workshop, find some other films to edit, or stay down here and take a gamble. Maybe fish, watch it here. Got to stay down because it's a nice cooked breakfast. That's the only reason I'm down here really. I haven't come for the fishing, it's only the cooked breakfast. Oh, one more fish, give me a break. I've lost, when I say I've lost, I've had 4, boom, 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 like this. I've had about 4 or 5 good bites. Come to nothing. Don't understand it. I'm not going to say I understand it, I don't. Maybe my bait's a little bit off, it's sort of pinky squid. Anyway guys, 10-minute warning and I'm off up those cliffs. It'll take me a week to get up there. Got some bites on this left hand one, people. I think I've got a slack liner. Got a slack liner. Got a slack liner. Hang on. Come on. Come on. That's a good fish, I think. Oh, come on, please. It's come off. It's a really good fish. I just don't get it. 2 hooks all mashed up. It's pissed me off. I do enjoy my shore fishing, but man, is it getting hard out there on the UK beach sea or what? Still great to be out, don't get me wrong. I love all that man alone stuff. I'm quite happy fishing on my own in the middle of nowhere, listening to the sound of the surf, the shingle roaring. I can't say the real screaming though, I can't really say that. Now, it's back to the TA base for some more random stuff. Right boys, I'm here in the totally awesome workshop. I've come in here, had a good old tidy up of my tools. Not that I've got any decent tools, all old ones, you can imagine me. But then I go and I find this. Not that I use keep nets a lot, not that I use keep nets, but this, if I show you there, yes, it's chewed, it's been chewed. Now I'm not going to waste this, I'm just going to do something with this. And there we have Mr. Mouse's droppings, okay? But worse to come, worse to come. I'm going to show you in my hand, I'm hiding it, my best weighted flying fish lure of the small size with a chin strap weight, swims really well, been in there about 2 or 3 years, That's right. Chewed and eaten. That's not very nice. That's taking things personally. So I'm afraid, people, I have to take things personally as well. These are personal things as well. Wasps. A wasp's nest. Don't come into my workshop because it's a one-way ticket, because I've been stung and you will pay the price. I've had stuff destroyed by mice before. Worse. Rodents will go through the cables in your house electrically. If they chew through those and it sparks and you get a fire, big problems, big problems. Not to mention the disease factor. But I don't waste anything I catch because I put them outside on my raptor table, where our friend Colin, we call him, every kite we see is called Colin, where Colin the kite comes and we feed him down there. I may even get some shots of him. He might be circling. Sometimes he's nervous. They're quite a nervous feeder, kites, actually. They're not like buzzards, which are a bit more aggressive. But I'm going to check outside because having seen this, and I can't buy another one, I'll put some traps out. Have we got a customer? Well, well, well. We do indeed have one of the culprits who's paid a price. Now I'm going to put him outside. By the way, this is some of Mike's thatching from the Saxon house, which is on TA Outdoors. I'm putting it in here. I've tied it. I've got it in the greenhouse to dry out. And I've got some cuttings, and I've pulled up all my geraniums for those who love a bit of gardening. I'm trying to save them through the winter. These are now going into their second and third years. I'm not buying new plants if I can help it. Oh, doesn't he look cute? Yeah, he is cute till he ends up burning your house down, chewing through the cables. I'm going to put him there. Now, this is how cute our raptors are. I believe, oh no, they know when our car pulls out. If I'm working around here, you can get Colin, you can look up, and he'll be spiralling around. How they know I've put meat down instead of bread. He doesn't come down and take bread. It's a kite, it's a full-blown kite. We've got 3, but Colin is a giant. I don't actually know what his wingspan is, but I should think it's at least 5 feet. Pretty impressive when he swoops down. But they seem to know when there's meat out there, which I find strange. I don't know. They don't come down for the bread. Get the awful magpies coming down. And the rooks, we call them rooks, are actually, I think Wayne told me they were carrion crows. But we've had them years, just a pair of them. Don't mind them, we like feeding them. I'm going to bait the trap again. And bait of the day, or the night, is a piece of leerdammer. I know a lot of you guys out there know that I think it's peanut butter or chocolate are the top baits for mouse traps. I've done okay with this leerdammer cheese. Look, they'll eat anything, including my electric cables. Right, back in the workshop, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off and unscrew this chin strap. I might be able to find a way of using that actually on something like a herring or a mackerel, you know, a heavy bait, and find a way of fixing that, undoing the screws and tying it across the nose of a dead bait, casting out and using it that way, so I won't waste that. This is obviously totally ruined now, but the hoops are okay, and the neck of the keep net there, see the rings, is quite big. So I'm going to tie it off here. I'm going to make a drop net out of that, so that if I ever need a drop net, I've got one. I'll turn it around the other way, and eventually I will sweep these mouse droppings up, that's shaken out of it. I will make that, which is an ideal size for things like wrasse and general fishing like that. So it won't be, again, it's not going to be wasted. So the last time I did a little talk here about the well, one of the comments was, have you ever dropped a magnet down there and see what's at the bottom? Well, I've been here all these years and the answer to that is no. But this will change because I have got a rod, a reel, and this is my magnet here, which I use for getting nuts and bolts out when I'm working. There's the old well. It sticks. I'm going to drop it down and see if there's any treasure down there. Right, people, here we go. Down into the great unknown. Now this well's filled right up quite a bit from the last tackle shack talk I did. And that is, when it's full to that pipe there, 32 feet deep. So I'm just letting all the line off. God, it's supposed to get a bite, it's supposed to get a take. Not quite sure how I'm going to manipulate it around the well. It's still going. Oh my goodness, it's going to come up in Brisbane, Australia. There's going to be a guy on his phone or something like that in Australia, and I'll start tugging and he's on the other end tugging away. Okay, I'm on the bottom. Now I'm going to do this manually. I might just be able to... Wow, that is deep. I can feel the silt on the bottom there. I can see a man down there. He's got this red dot, looks like a laser gun sight on his head. So give me 5 minutes of bumping this around, folks. And I'll come back and let you know if I've had any takes. Well, I am, as you can see, just bouncing it along through the silt in the bottom of the well. And I haven't felt any weight yet. I'm going to have trouble getting over that side because that's quite a long way over. It's a big well, this must be a good 6 feet across. Anybody know what 6 feet across and 32 feet deep gives us a volume of water in there? Somebody tell me. 6 feet across in diameter, circular, and 32 feet deep. How much water is that? 1,000 gallons? I don't know. I can't bear it any longer. I've got to come up and have a look. Hang on. Is there a little bit of weight there? I don't know. I don't actually know. I'm going to say there might be a little bit. I'm so excited. There could be a bit of weight there. I don't want to bring it up too fast. If it comes, if it comes, if it comes, and there is. Oh. There's bits of metal on it, look. Probably bits of rust that's come off from pipes. I think I'm going to have another drop, people. See if I can actually cast it over the other side. Get it going. That's better. There could be something hidden over there, like the best fish are in the tucked away places. Is there going to be a nice coin, Roman coin or something down there? Obviously I need a much stronger magnet, really. Guys, I want to say it feels heavier. I get so excited. I know it's very popular, this magnet fishing off of bridges. Oh no. There's a big metal bar goes across there. It's just, I thought that was a take. I forgot about the metal bar, went straight across it. Nothing except grainy bits of metal work. I've got something, people. What is this? Don't tell me it's fishing line. Fibrous plant material. One more go. Nothing gets set really. Small rusty metal filings. I'm going to go down. I think I'm going to go down and actually try that smaller well, the shallower one. Now this one just had a board across it, and I built this all out of the chimney breast. I climbed on my roof, broke the chimney breast down. I've got caging in this one. Oh. Let's have a little look. I've actually, I think, is that loose or is that cemented in there? No, that one's loose. That one's loose. Oh, there's hope. There's hope. I obviously put this here when we had the kids there. They didn't fit down it. I shouldn't think there's any water in this one at all. So I'm going to drop it down by hand. There we go. Now I'm going to listen. This one's dry. No, it's nothing. Nothing metallic that I can feel in the bottom of that one, but you never know. This was probably the first well that was dug. And I want to try the log burner in the cabin. So I don't want to give this too much time, but I don't feel anything down there. It's not gripping anything, but at least I've tried. So the guy in the comments page who said you should put a magnet anywhere else, see what's down the ground, I have tried it and I have got nothing. Now the fact this one's dry makes me wonder. I've never actually looked down there. So I got my big powerful Q-beam torch, and you won't see anything, I guess. Oh my god, that looks weird. It looks like it goes back underneath the ground there. It's like that. Is that film that scares the bejesus out of you called, what is it called? Something sparkling down there. I wonder if that's water or silver. It's called The Descent. I see something green there. It's probably a beer can from years ago. I don't know if you guys are seeing any of this. It looks like it's cut back in there, like there's a hole or something over there. I want to know what that silver stuff is. Alright, I don't have a huge amount of battery on this torch, but the green thing I thought was a beer can. Just for those who realise that I am completely stupid, it's actually my own magnet. But there's something over there. Oh, it's water. So there is water in the bottom of the well coming in just down there. That's water on that side. Actually, that's soft. What the hell is that? I feel a house brick should be hurled down here and see what happens. What is that? Very soft, very peculiar. It's like it's paper. Got to drop something down there heavier, boys. It's just got to be done. It's childish, I know, but... Right. I have an implement here which I'm going to drop, throw or hurl down the well. Here we go. Watch me drop this torch down there. I don't know if you guys probably won't even see this, but you might hear something. Here we go. Fire. Ooh. Squishy and soft and yucky. Okay, boys, that's enough of well chasing. Still fascinated by all that brickwork there. Let's get this grill back on and let's get in and see if we can't light the old G stove and see if it's actually working. Here we are at the tackle shack. It's looking good. Up there you can see I've got the spark arrestor. It's going to be lovely in here anyway because the sun's been here. Cleaned it all up now, guys. Look at it, beautiful. Oh look, yeah, look. Just sit in the seat of power. A westering sun in the winter. Wow, I tell you what, I don't need to light this. It's warm enough in here. Right, I've got some wood, got some paper in there. A bit late now. Here we go. Wish me luck, people. This thing does burn when it gets going. Now I'll take this camera off. My goodness me, wait till I open this. Hopefully that's going to catch. Oh, it's warm already. Ow! That's not even 30 seconds. Oh no! Hopefully that wood catches. Have a bit of smoke there. A little bit of lift off I feel, just needs to get hot. The smoke's blowing. Yes. Straight towards the wife's washing line. Uh-oh. I'll tell you, it's barely a minute, guys. Already the temperature's going up here on the oven. It's certainly ripping away there. This is a huge stove. I can see by the amount of wood that it's going to take. That's going to be very hot. Oh, it's throwing the heat out. Ouch. Spider on the move. He doesn't like the heat. He doesn't know which way to go. Coming up to, looks like about 30 degrees already. That's the first burn. It's on the way, but I could put so much wood in there, it's absolutely ridiculous. I'm only doing a test burn, that's all I want to do really. Probably do with some thinner stuff in there, and it tends to want to be burning at the back first. I'll be baking bread in there soon. I can smell it, what they call burning off as well. Okay, so while we're waiting for this to burn itself off, the first burn is ripping now, so I'm going to turn it right down there. Look, over 50, about 60 degrees. I can get that way up to 160 to 200 when I want to bake in here. But you will be able to see I've raised it. I've built up this plinth here out of 6x2 timber, I think it was, and a board on the top, and then tiles because I don't want any heat. And then I thought normally you have about 300mm overspill in case you get ash come out. Well, this is a sealed unit, so I'm okay. But I have here, look, put this tile down. You can see I've got to clean it up a bit. That's stuck to the floor just in case I spill anything there. And at the back, I've tiled all in there, tiled all the way up either side. The heat coming off of this is just ridiculous. I've tiled down to here to allow for the heat of the oven. I have no idea how hot this is going to be. I can feel it there. It's definitely warm and toasty. This is a cold weather cabin, I'm calling this. And of course these fold up as well. Put your pans, pots and pans and stuff like that and plates on. And I've shut that down and the temperature's still going. Can you see that there? I'll come this way, you can still see that. It's getting up to 90 now. It's been going barely 5 minutes. So I think we can safely say, look at that, that is beautiful. Now the G stove, initial burn, the XL G stove, it's going to take some XL wood. As I can see that coming a mile away. I know it's going to be burning a bit of wood. These things absolutely eat the wood. But it works beautifully. I think I'll get the wife and show her because she said, I want to see it when the fire's going. I've tuned it right down. As you can see, down here I've closed it right down, it's still burning. I'm letting it burn out now, so it's fine. It's already made 150 degrees in that oven and I haven't even loaded it up properly yet. So I can't imagine how hot it's going to be once I fill it up for the winter. Well, after that burn off from the G stove, I mean, they are something else. You could survive without any trouble at all for heating and cooking in a small cabin with one of those. So thanks for watching the TAFishing and all the random, weird, wacko stuff I put up. I enjoy filming it, I really do. I enjoy editing. It's all a bit of fun. And if it passes a bit of time for you guys out there, what harm is there? It's free. And of course, if you don't like it, you've got the off button. Hopefully you do like it and you hit the like button and all the other stuff that goes with it. We'll see you guys in the next one. Fingers crossed, I won't have to wait so long for some nibbles.